Hello everyone, welcome to English 104. I am your instructor, Miss Barsamian. I do want to take a moment and go over our syllabus together. This is probably the most important document in our class because it outlines what the class is about, it outlines the policies, and it also kind of gives you a preview of what to expect in a class like this. So let's take a moment and let's review it together. There are some parts that I am going to ask you to read on your own, but otherwise I'll try my best to introduce what this class is all about as well as I can. So first of all, this is English 104. If you are enrolled in this class, you are either in section number 96 or 97. I put the ticket numbers here so you guys can double check. Maybe the first thing you should do is make sure you're in the right course. This class is considered an advanced composition course. It's basically called argumentation and critical thinking. It encompasses so many different subjects that we cover. We are going to tackle a lot of current events, current issues, but then also there's a segment where we do a shout out to the classics because history is important after all. I did put my personal information here, my name, my email address for your records, a link to our class website for your convenience. I did put a link to our Zoom page. This is for my office hours if you guys are interested in coming on Mondays and Wednesdays. And of course, don't forget the passcode Austin22, and that's what you're going to need in order to access my Zoom. So, just really quickly, I didn't mention this before. My name is pronounced Hasmeek. I know that's a difficult name to pronounce, so if you want to go by Jasmine, that is the translation of my name. If you feel awkward calling me by my first name, I understand. You can call me Miss B if that makes you more comfortable. So the next part of our syllabus is the description, and I would like you to read this on your own. But one important thing I would like to stress is that you're supposed to have taken English 101 and passed it with a C or better in order to qualify to be in this class. So, double check your grade if you just finished English 101 in the winter session. I do want you guys also to take a moment and read the learning outcomes. So what are these? These are basically what this class is hoping to accomplish by the end of the semester. Just one more time, I do want you guys to read the exit standards on your own. This is kind of like the promise of the class that by the end of the semester, these are the things that we should be going over. Moving on, I do have I have good news for you guys that I'm very happy to share. There are 2 textbooks for this class. Not textbooks. One is a novel, the other one is a textbook. One is called Everything's an Argument, and I usually use the 8th edition, but when I was doing a little bit of research, I actually discovered the full text of the 7th edition online. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to make my students buy the 8th edition. Might as well just save some money. So I think, I put the link here just for your convenience. I think, it's helpful to maybe have that option. If you prefer to have your own textbook or if you prefer to rent it from the bookstore, it's totally up to you, but you don't need to. It is available online. Now, check it out. This online version is actually with readings. You don't have to do the readings. I actually have the smaller version, which does not include readings. So, the readings are an added plus, but I don't use them in my class. The second book is Pride and Prejudice. And then when I was browsing through our GCC library, I actually saw a lot of versions of the novel available. So I put one of them here for you. It's just an ebook so that you don't have to spend any money on the novel. So that's the good news, that I have made this class 0 cost. So I'm so thankful that I was able to do that, and I'm sure that's going to help a lot of you out. Now, attendance for this course, it's important to know that attendance is kind of like based on your participation in the class. Fun fact, I can see whenever you guys are logging in. And that probably makes you nervous a little bit. You're like, do I want her to be stalking me online? Well, technically I can. I see the date, the time that you log in. I see how many times you log in. So it's kind of neat to be able to track student participation that way. But in a class like this, in a DE class, it's not like you're physically in the classroom. So how are we supposed to assess the students who are attending class regularly? So the first thing that a student needs to do when they join a DE class like this one is they have to do the check-in assignment. This is to keep your seat in the class. So our check-in assignment, notice that the deadline is for Sunday. Now that gives you a week to do the check-in, and it's kind of like, it's supposed to be a very simple assignment. It's like you saying here, at roll call, and that's the purpose of it. You say that you are present, that you are in the class, that you would like to keep your seat, and consequently your instructor does not drop you. Now if you do not do the check-in by Sunday, you are going to be dropped Monday morning, just to give students who are waiting a chance to add the class. So also in a DE class like this one, what's the assessment? You know, like how many assignments can you miss and kind of get away with it? For my class, it's about 10 assignments, okay? Now, these are 10 5-point assignments. So what does that mean? You know, if an assignment, let's say, is kind of big, I give it 10 points, and that will count as 2 assignments. So, I mean, a little bit more, a little bit less. I'm not that strict with the count, but this is, I think, a reasonable amount that 2 weeks worth of assignments, it's probably going to be approximately 10 assignments that you're allowed to miss before you are in jeopardy of failing the class. I put some important dates for you guys, if you guys would like. Maybe add this to your calendar. The first is the census date. That's Monday, March 7th. This is the day that you know, you want to be able to finish, add a class or drop a class. That's an important date to know. The second one is, you know, obviously if you want to drop the class. Oh, I'm sorry. The census date was the date that new students have to finish the check-in assignment. So let's say if you're a new student, you added within the first week, you have until the census date to complete the check-in assignment, just to clarify. But you have until Saturday, March 5th for all the other students to drop a class without a W. So without a W is actually a really good thing because it just means that, you know, you never really took the class. You just dropped the class and there is no mark on your record. But the last day to drop a class with a W, that's like that withdrawal mark that goes in your record, is Saturday, May 21st. And that's like closer to the end of the semester, so you have plenty of time. You know, some students, they can't do anything about it. They have to drop a class for whatever reason. So these are good dates to know. Now, here is my plagiarism policy. I'm not really going to discuss it unless I have to, but I did put a link for you guys. You could click on it and find out what plagiarism means. If I see that I have a case of plagiarism, I will probably direct you to this website. Students with disabilities, the fortunate news is that GCC has a wonderful office and they give accommodations to students who do have learning disabilities. And you know, there's like this form that you fill out. It comes to me, I sign the form. So if you would like to know more information about it, you can click on the link or you could call the number. Late work. I don't accept late work. I wish I could. It's just, you know, it gets extremely busy throughout the semester. So I just want to clarify what I mean by I don't accept late work. So late work for me is the in-class work. It means the quizzes, the discussions, the reading responses. So anything else, like a major assignment, like a midterm or a final or an essay, those things you can make up because they're very, very important to finish. But the in-class work you cannot make up. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is the Learning Center. Now, check it out. I've actually taught a lot of workshops at the Learning Center. I find them to be very helpful, especially when I was teaching them face-to-face. I felt like they were great, but then, via Zoom can also be really valuable. Now, there's two things I want to direct you to. We have this amazing little opportunity now. The Learning Center has given us access to the Grammarly Premium, and what this means is it kind of like helps with your grammar. If you're sort of struggling grammatically, you might want to check that out. And then also they offer all of these wonderful workshops. Now, let's say you're in English 104 and you took 101 a while ago. Or maybe, you took 101 last semester, but you feel like you didn't learn a lot. And you forgot, let's say, how to write a strong thesis or how to use quotations. In a class like English 104, you're expected to know these things when you enter the class. So these workshops are really valuable. If you click on the link, you will be able to see all of the workshops that are taught. And an extra incentive is that I'm going to give you guys up to 25 extra credit points for attending these workshops. So all you have to do is register for them, attend them, and as soon as you attend them and your attendance is marked, I will be able to see it online because it all goes into your record, and I have like a roster that I get to access. So, it's nice. Each workshop that you attend, it would be a total of 5 workshops. Each workshop would be worth 5 points. And again, that would be 25 extra credit points that you can earn that will help your in-class grade. So I think that's, really nice opportunity for a lot of you to take advantage of. Grading scale for GCC, we do not use pluses and minuses. We use solid grades. So that's very good news for a lot of students. If you make it to 90%, that is a solid A. My course is broken down into percentages. So I just want you guys to notice that not everything is equally distributed. So each assignment has a different weight. The first 3 assignments, the in-class work, this is like the bunch of things that we're doing on a daily basis, our quizzes, our discussions, and so on. All of that gets calculated into the 20%. Our essay 1 and 2, 20%. Our 2 exams, the midterm and the final, are 15%. And then the group presentations are 10% of your grade. So it's not an equal weight. So again, Canvas's gradebook is set up to calculate each assignment according to its different weight groups. So it's totally accurate. If you click on the grades icon, you will be able to see how you're doing in the class. Canvas tech support. Do you know how many times I've called this number just because I could not figure out what to do on Canvas, or I got logged out, or I just didn't know how to work a discussion group? So they're very helpful, and they're very on top of everything. So I usually call the number, I put it here, but you could also do like an online chat with them if you feel more comfortable. Now, I am obligated to give you guys a class schedule, but let me just recommend that you guys, instead of looking at this class schedule, you look at the more detailed one that I'm going to send you on a weekly basis. This is just an overview. It just kind of like maps out what I think the class is going to look like for the rest of the semester. But sometimes, it's not going to be like this. I'm going to change some stuff around. But one thing that I want you to know is, approximately when major assignments are due, like group presentations, like our first essay, like when is spring break, when is our midterm, and then so on and so forth. So you might want to glance at this, but know that the more detailed class schedule will be sent out via announcement form on Canvas. And finally, I have some handouts for you guys. Now, this is just a reminder for English 101. These are all of the things you are supposed to have learned in 101 before coming into 102. And it includes how to paraphrase and how to quote. It includes like what kind of lead-in phrases you might want to use when you are quoting. There's a handout I have that's on analyzing quotations. So there's a bunch of suggestions on how you can analyze quotes that you're using in your essays. Here's a handout that is on how to quote in a smooth and fluent way, how to integrate your quotations into your writing. And then I have this handout which is on grammar. So if I'm grading your essays and let's say I notice some grammatical mistakes, I might just be writing FRAG. So it's nice to know what that means. If you come to this page and you look at the code, I have an explanation as well as an example for you guys. So just one more time, I did want to clarify that I use this page specifically on your essays. I think I forgot to mention that whenever I'm grading your work, sometimes, it just takes a little bit less time just to put a comment code rather than write everything out. So please refer to this page whenever you are reading my comments for your essays. Now, that is our class syllabus. I hope this was helpful tutorial introducing the class syllabus. If you guys have any questions about the class at all, please feel free to ask.